All right, everybody, today we're learning how to create maps for seventh grade geography. This is something you need to know how to do. You'll be doing this the entire school year, so it's good to start getting the practice now. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Ms. Williams at the district office, one of our technology coaches who did the original draft of this slideshow. I have added some things to it and changed it around a little bit, but I couldn't have done this without her. All right, so if you're following along on in Google Classroom with the Google Slideshow, you can click on this link and it will take you to the Middle East resources. All right, today we are going to explore GIS and data maps. We are going to open a Google Sheet and examine data. We're going to use Google My Maps to create our own geospatial data, and we're going to use Google Sheets to create a GeoMap. So first, we're going to look at some maps from other sources to give us an idea of how it looks to map and to examine data. So we've got two maps here. They're pretty much identical. The one on the left shows you different physical features that are labeled, and the one on the right shows you oil refineries as well as physical features. So you should be able to answer these 4 questions just by looking at the maps. I would love for you to try it out. And the website at the bottom of the screen is a place where you can look at these maps if you need to. When you hear data, what do you think? Well, you might think of a chart, or this is a donut chart or a pie chart. You can also use GIS, or Geographic Information Systems. These are used to display and explore data on a map instead of a table or graph. So let's look at a map. All right, so this is a GIS map. As you can see, it is telling you what languages are spoken around the world and what religions are practiced around the world. Now, let's say you only want to look at one of those pieces of data at a time. You click on Content, and you just unclick the one you don't want to see. And so I can look at legends, and now I've got world languages. So I can see that Russian is spoken in this area, and you've got, this is other, so this covers all the other languages. But you can actually click on the map, and you can find out their different languages. So now here's the deal. It says the United States official language is English. However, that is not accurate. The United States does not have an official language, not legally, although most people in the US do speak English. So there's that. You got Portuguese, you got, so Suriname, they actually speak Dutch, which isn't on here. So they're under other. Here's a multiple languages one. So Algeria, they speak Arabic and French. So both of them are listed and they're dark gray. So you can actually learn a lot of information just by using this map. Now, you can actually create your own. And we're going to do this through World Data Map, through World Bank, where we can collect the data and we can use it to display in a map. So let's click on it. All right, so here in the World Bank, the indicator I chose was arable land, farmable land. So you can scroll down and see what percent of the land area in each country is able to be farmed. Afghanistan, 11.8%. Let's go down in Bosnia and Herzegovina, 20%. In Canada, it's only 4.8%. If you go down to the United States, which is quite a long way down, it's 16.6%, but the United Kingdom is 24.9%. The Ukraine, 56.6%. So we get all this, we can get all this information. Of course, it's in a table. There's a graph. It's not super friendly. So we can make a data table in Google Drive using Google Sheets. You do this by clicking on New in Google Drive and just clicking Google Sheets. To create your Google Sheet, you want to name your sheet. You want to enter data categories and then enter some data. Share it with your teacher every time. If you're doing this for an assignment, make sure your teacher can view it. An easy way to do this is add it to the assignment on Google Classroom. You can also click the share button. Now, you need to follow these steps to get some data. So first click here and then make a copy. The data is going to pop up here. It's already been loaded for you this time. You will be responsible later for finding your own data. But we've got country names, we've got the percent of children ages 7 to 14 who are employed, and the gross domestic product per capita. Now look at that data. What observations do you have? The first thing I notice is that the countries with higher percentages of children who are employed tend to have a lower gross domestic product per capita. This means that the amount of money that is made in the country per person is a lot less. Let's scroll down to we don't have the United States here. So let's look at, for example, Senegal, $1,219. But 25% of their children are working. In Serbia, only about 18% are working, and they make about $5,585 per person. All right, so what if you are the one who has collected this data? Well, you can make your own map, which is pretty cool. You can add data directly to a map or by using a data table to import your data, and I highly recommend that. So let's go to Google My Maps, and you're going to create a new map. All right, so if you click in the search box, I'm going to find the city where I was born, Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm going to add it to the map. Now, I think the blue pin's pretty boring, so I'm going to change the style. I'm going to make it yellow, and I'm going to add a star. So now, when you look at my map, you can see where Cincinnati, Ohio is in the world on this map. Now, let's say I wanted to put the data about child labor and GDP. I can delete this layer because we don't really need it. I just wanted to show you how to add a pin. I'm going to delete it, and I'm going to add a new layer. Well, you've got an untitled layer. So I'm going to import that Google Sheet we were just looking at. I'm going to go to Google Drive. I'm going to go to Recent, and it's right there. So I want to do the column where we're putting our place marks is country name. And then let's look at the percentage of children who are employed. And I'm going to hit finish. While that's loading, you click the three dots to rename your map. You click the three dots to rename the layer, and you click Uniform Style to edit your place markers. Then you follow the steps, you click import, you find your Google Sheet of data, which we've done, choose country and the percent of children for title of place markers, click finish. So we're going to go back to this map, and look, there's place markers for all of it. So I don't want uniform style. I want to do style by data column. So percentage of children who are employed. And we'll go categories. Nah, I don't really want categories. We're going to do range. And let's say we want 5 ranges. So now we can see that 1.2% to 5.9% is this lightest blue. And I can change the colors. So let's say I want to make that yellow, and I'll leave that blue. And I'm going to make this one red, and I'm going to make this one, let's do green. And then that last one will be black. So now this is even easier to tell. This is pretty cool, right? So we've done all this. A few more features: you can share, you can add another layer of data, you can preview the map in Google Maps. Make sure you share this with your teacher, because if you just post a link, your teacher will not be able to view it. You can use Google Drive to store and make these things. So go to Google Drive, New, Google Sheets for creating a Sheets file for storing your data. Google My Maps is in Google Drive. You can make it straight from Google Drive. But what if you are the one who's collected data about countries or states or continents or cities? Here's something really cool you can do. So you can also make a map using the Insert Chart feature. You highlight the columns and click Insert. So I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to highlight column A, and then I'm going to hold down the Shift key, and I'm going to highlight column B. I'm going to go to Insert Chart. And we've got a chart. I'm going to go to Chart Type, Column Chart, and I'm going to scroll down to Map. And now I have a map of the world with the number of children who are employed. Now I can customize this. So I can make the background blue to make it like to represent ocean. I can change the border color of it. I can change the font. Say I want Comic Sans. I can go down here and I can, maybe I want to focus in on Africa. So I change the region to Africa. And now I can see the different countries in Africa and all this. I can change the colors to whatever I want. It's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. All right, so you can make a choropleth map, which is what I did and what I showed you. But you can also make a proportional symbol map, where the symbols represent the symbols and colors represent child labor. Now, of our 4 goals today, it was explore GIS and data maps, open a Google Sheet and examine data, use Google Maps to create our own geospatial data map, and use Google Sheets to create a geomap. I feel like we've accomplished all of these goals today. I encourage you to save this video, hold on to it, and refer back to it when needed. If you have any questions, please leave me a message on Google Classroom, and I will be happy to get back to you. Have a great day.